Another piece of this is how we see our community. What does recovery look like to us? And I think to most people, it wouldn't be returning our community to where we were on March 15th of this year. Of course, it's really thinking about what the future looks like and what that might hold for us. So Steve, can you talk us through what is that final stage of recovery that's contemplated in this recovery plan?
Yeah, that stage 3 we call we don't call it business recovery because that's what Tom does. We call it building economic and community resiliency. And that term resiliency really means being stronger and more flexible and nimble as a community and as an economy, kind of learning from the scars that we just went through, being more pliable. And to your point, Allison, as you introduced this topic, we're not necessarily wanting to just say, let's go be the old version of ourselves. We want to be that new version of ourselves. So we've spent a lot of time looking at what other communities have done, how they're planning, what does their recovery plan looks like, how are they positioning themselves for the future. And out of that, we've identified some guiding principles that I think can guide our decision-making in this stage 3. And if we have time, I'll be happy to share those principles with our audience. The first one is we want to make sure that we're incentivizing and supporting entrepreneurship. I think the hardest hit part of our community right now is our local businesses that came just out of our culture of entrepreneurship. They've been around for a while. It's someone with a passion that wanted to start a business locally. So being able to continue to cultivate that part of who we are as a community and as a culture and as an economy is really important. So being able to incentivize and support entrepreneurship adds that depth and character to our economy going forward. Second principle is employing new tactics and models to support small business. Even as an organization, we've been doing our work on behalf of the community for 30 years. This team, the 3 of us, have been on board for several years in the organization. The way we had done business in the past and leaned into supporting our business community, that model needs to be shifting. And that's part of what we are looking at in terms of being a better version of ourselves going forward, is to make sure that that support system for small business is also adapting and meeting those unique needs. We also want to make sure as a community that we're investing in critical infrastructure, and we highlight specifically broadband, because we know technology will be a key centerpiece of the new economy, as it were, as we move beyond recovery and become that new version of ourselves economically. Having that strong technology backbone with broadband, 5G, whatever those networks need to look like to support emerging new business and create new opportunities are really important. So being strong, investing in our infrastructure, and especially infrastructure that supports new technologies, and us being able to do business at a much faster pace, have experiences online like this at a whole new level. Next is develop a quality of place and talent attraction initiatives. To the extent our community can continue to invest in the amenities that set us apart, that create a character that we're a quality place to live and be and work and start a business, that's going to distinguish us down the road for our future. So that's an important principle, developing a quality of place. That also serves to attract talent. Part of the conversation right now is Montana becoming a magnet for folks who just want to find a better place to live and do business, a little more elbow room than they might have elsewhere, a little easier to be physically distancing, yet still be connected and still be a part of a quality community. And so we want to be investing in ourselves so that we've positioned ourselves well to seize that opportunity. We want to make sure that we support workforce reskilling and reemployment efforts. Unfortunately, as our economy shifts and changes, as we move through this, there will be many people who will be put on the sideline. We know that just by looking at our unemployment numbers. Some of them will come back, and we're seeing that happen as that trend is starting to change, but some may not. Some may be on that sideline for a little bit longer. So as a community, as a workforce development infrastructure, both our college and our university, we need to make sure that we're positioned well to lean into workforce development in a way that reskills and retools those folks. And in some cases, doing that in a way that helps us seize some new business opportunities we haven't thought of yet. And then we want to create manageable goals and embrace incrementalism. And this is a hard one for me. Because I like the big grand vision. We all kind of paint these big pictures and then we charge that mountain and here we go. Well, that journey up the mountain is one step at a time, right? So being able to identify those incremental steps that we can take as a community that over time builds that improvement or builds that quality of place that we're looking for. So manageable goals, and then incrementalism, embracing that, taking one step at a time. So each month we can look back and say, look what we accomplished. At the end of the year, look at the 3 things we accomplished. And over a 4 or 5 year period of time, as we've moved beyond this, we'll be that much further ahead. It's, Allison, you can relate to this, right? With your exercise classes, somebody shows up to your class for the first time and they have this vision of what they want to look like, and I want to lose weight and get in shape, and it happens incrementally, right? The more classes they participate in on a consistent basis, and over the course of 8, 10, 12 weeks, 6 months, they look back and say, look at the progress that I've made. So same thing as a community, incrementally improving ourselves will make a difference. And then I know, Tom, you really like this one. Move to where the puck will be. Develop what we will be, not what we were. And that's the whole, how we started this conversation, is there is a very important opportunity that's out there for us as a community, and we need to be proactive in working toward where that opportunity will be. And these principles I shared is a way to guide our strategies and tactics so that we can be where the puck's going to be.